So how do you stop being a doormat? Well, the easiest way to stop being a doormat is to understand a particular principle of how the universe works. Because the universe itself works only in two ways, okay? It works in win-win situations and lose-lose situations, but never a win-lose situation. So let me explain. If you're feeling something and something is right for you, a certain decision, something you've got to do, a change that you need to make in your life, if it's the right thing for you and it's coming from your heart and you know that it's something that you must do, then it is automatically for the highest good of everyone else in all of creation. So it's automatically the best thing and for the highest good of everyone else in all of creation. So that's what I mean by a win-win situation. The same applies in a lose-lose situation. If there's something that you're meant to do and it's coming from your heart and it's something that you know that you're supposed to do and you choose not to do it, then that's a lose situation for you because you're not honoring yourself, you're not honoring your intuition, what you're being guided to do, what the universe is asking you to do, whatever messages you may have received in meditation, etc., etc. So by you not doing that, you've just now robbed everyone else in the universe of that gift and that blessing of whatever that decision was. So in that case, that would be a lose-lose situation, because if it's a lose for you, it's a lose for every single other person on the planet. And the same, it's always true. It's always true. And it's really, really important principle to understand. So there's never a win-lose situation, right? So let's just say you need to make a decision and you know in your heart you need to make a decision and it's going to negatively or seemingly negatively impact somebody else. And you know that they might get upset or whatever the situation is. You need to know that it's a win-win for them as well. Even if in the moment it might seem like it's going to impact them in a negative way, right? And there's going to be repercussions for the decision that you need to make for yourself. You need to trust in the fact that if it's right for you, it's right for them, even if they don't see that. And what you will find 100% of the time, that whatever the negative impact was on that other individual, that 6 months from now, a year from now, years from now, they will look back on it and see, oh my God, that was such a gift. That was so huge. It completely changed my life. Or it steered me in a whole nother direction, etc., etc., etc. I will give you an example. I had a business partner and he was my best friend. And there was, at the time, I was overcommitted. I was very stressed out. I was also traveling and things were just not in balance. And truth be told, I didn't really sort of speak up, okay? And that's where, when you don't honor yourself, you create all sorts of problems and things like that, right? But anyway, I didn't speak up and so forth. So over time, I was just falling apart. I was in survival mode. I was stressed out. I was doing way too much. And there was an inequality in the business partnership and the relationship. And I basically had to sever ties. So I called him up and said, look, you know what? I can't do this anymore. I can't work with you anymore. I'm done. I need to move on. I've got other things that are a higher priority for me. And it was really, really difficult to do. It was really, really difficult to do. It actually broke the friendship. But the point is, a year or two later, he sought me out and told me, thank you so much for doing that. Because he said, not only did I learn some really huge lessons that I wasn't aware of, but his whole life completely changed. And he is now thriving. He's got a whole new group of friends. He's got a business and a mission that he's passionate about. And he also came back to thank me for all the insights that I gave him through our friendship, because it really opened him up to a whole new world of possibilities that he never would have been aware of had he have not met me. Because, you know, I'm a spiritual guy and I love this stuff, right? I love it because it works 100% of the time. But I just really, really wanted to share that the universe only deals in win-win, lose-lose, never win-lose. So that can really alleviate you from the burden of making certain decisions that are right for you. Because a lot of times people will be the doormat, right? And they won't make the decisions that they know that they're supposed to do, or they'll prolong making decisions because they're so concerned about the impact on other people and what other people will think, not realizing that when you're automatically following your heart and making the right decisions for you, you're automatically making the right decision for all of creation. Now, the question might come of, well, why is that? Well, it's because everything's all one. It's as simple as that. It's because everything's all one. Everything's love. Everything's God. Everything is unified, okay? So the impact is a one-to-one ratio. When you're making the right decision for you, it can only impact the universe in a positive way. There's no other way it can impact it because everything's all one. Everything's ultimately you. And the same is when a human being or a person makes a decision that's wrong for them, you know, or doesn't honor themselves and so forth, because then you're now making a decision that's now creating a deficit in the universe, a deficit of what could have been. And then you literally rob everyone else of the gift of that decision. So could you imagine if every single human being made the right decision for them, coming from their heart, of course, because a lot of people are disconnected and, you know, in fight or flight and so forth. I'm talking about making the right decision that you know and that you feel is the right decision. Now, here's another point. Let's just say you don't know what the right decision is, okay? And let's just say you're in your head, you're struggling with that. If you genuinely make the best efforts and your intention is pure and your intention is good, even if you do make the wrong decision, let's just say the wrong decision, because there's technically no such thing, okay? The universe will always swoop in and help you out, okay? It will help correct that decision if that decision is coming with the right intention. So it's almost like you can't go wrong, because even if you make the wrong decisions, again, with best efforts and with the highest of intentions, of course, then the universe, because of that, will come in. Grace will come in and help fix it and help resolve that and help guide you in the right direction. And you won't end up having the full negative impact of making the wrong choice, okay? Because the universe rewards everyone when they're doing their best to come from a loving, from a heart space, from a place of truth and honoring one's self. Because no one should ever be a doormat. And standing up for yourself against other people and things like that applies in exactly the same way. Okay, it's always about honoring the self And when you honor yourself, you honor everyone else. So hopefully that made sense, and hopefully you got something out of that. But it's such an important rule to understand. And when you get that, as I said, it just alleviates a lot of the stress, a lot of the anxiety, a lot of the concern of, am I doing the right thing? Am I not doing the right thing? Etc., etc. Okay. And if you actually look back at all the times that you didn't do what you were supposed to do out of fear, out of concern for other people, you'll notice that it created more pain and suffering, right? It prolongs the suffering that you were going through until you finally made that choice. And when you made that choice, it's like, oh my God, it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. Okay? So once again, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this.